When you study this situation with Gabriel coming to this young girl, Mary, Mary had a plan for her life. Mary and Joseph were engaged to be married. I'm sure that they'd had many conversations in preparation for their marriage as to what their life was going to look like. They had set all the plans in motion. But everything about this situation, when Gabriel shows up, requires something of Mary. It's going to require her surrendering her will to God. Her laying down her plans, her ideas, her goals, what she wanted for her life. She's going to have to bring those to the altar of sacrifice and actually lay them down and, in some sense, give them up. Because if she agreed to God's will, if she agreed to being the bearer of the Christ child, she's going to risk losing Joseph. She's going to risk losing her reputation. She's going to risk being misunderstood by the community around her, because it's just a matter of time before she will have to go and tell Joseph that she's pregnant. Joseph knows that it's certainly not his child, and she's going to have to explain all the intricacies of Gabriel coming to her and the events that transpired, and I'm sure that's going to sound like a wild story to Joseph. And she's going to have to endure 9 months of expanding pregnancy and people around her talking about her and raising questions about, why is Mary pregnant? How did she get pregnant? Well, she says God did it. And she has to deal with all the potential scorn and slander of that situation. And she's going to be facing all of this potential, even ridicule in her life. And so she's going to have to lay some things on the altar if she's going to be used by God. But Mary is willing to do this. She stopped living for her plans and she chose God's plans over her plans. And I challenge you, study all the great men and women of the Bible. I challenge you to do this. And you'll find out that every man and woman that's found in Scripture at some point in time had to lay down something of themselves to be used by God. You can't have your way and God's way at the same time. You can't have your plans and God's plans at the same time. Now, there are moments when our plans and God's plans intersect. We understand that. Certainly are valuable moments when our plans and God's plans intersect. But you and I have to be willing to selflessly lay down our lives, because there is a price for serving God. There's a price for serving God.